How you doing? I'm Chris. Charisma. I like to call myself the Christ bearer because, hey, I might not be with religion, with the orchestrated religion, but I do believe in God. I do believe in Christ being my Savior. I do believe in Christ. He's the way. Now, with that said, let's get into some news. Alright? It's gonna be something for you here. Like I said, I don't have the big old news media and all that, so I gotta get little tidbits. But I like to use my head. I like to use a little bit of critical thinking and just use critical thinking. That's all it really takes, to have my eyes open and be aware of stuff. Because right now, if people are out shopping and spending their money on all kinds of stuff, or worried about this and worried about that with their money, wanting this material shit, you go ahead, son. You go ahead. Because guess what? The shit really ain't going to matter here in the next couple months. I'm telling you. It really ain't. We're at a biblical proportion right now. We are in Revelation. Rumors of war upon rumors. It's flat the hell out right there in the Bible. There were 4 things needed to be done before Revelation could take place. Those 4 things have already been done. We're starting to see the stuff right now. Do you not see all the tension, all the news? Even the fake news is trying to... They're broadcasting the demise. They are pushing for nuclear shit right now. Alright, so let's get to the news. This is not... some of this might be from mainstream or whatever, but this is what I've been picking up. SEAL Team 6. You know them, right? They went after Bin Laden. Bin Laden did 9/11. 9/11 was turned out to be a hoax, which was set up by an inside job of the government just so we could go over to Afghanistan and all that stuff for nothing. Like I said on my other one, there was a reason why we went over there. And it wasn't for oil. It was for chaos, but to get knowledge. Knowledge is the power that they want. They want to have this power. Okay, so SEAL Team 6 took care of Bin Laden. Bin Laden, made by the CIA, who back in the 80s and 90s was over in Afghanistan to help fight against Russia. You remember Rambo, right? You remember Rambo 3? That was pretty much Al-Qaeda. Rambo was talking to Bin Laden, man. For real. That little dude, that was Bin Laden. Not in real, but I'm just saying that's pretty much what it was like. That's the movie media has truth to it. I'm telling you. That's the devil's way of laughing in your damn face, and you're just that was a great movie. You're just soaking that shit up, man. I'm here to help you. All right, I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm trying to help you clear. Just open your eyes, man. Clear yourself. All right, but anyways. SEAL Team 6 is going over to Seoul. They're going over to Seoul to help with South Korea train and do drills. Why the hell are they going to do that? Why can't they just, practice where they normally practice at? Well, I know yesterday we sent an attack drone. Not a reconnaissance drone or anything like that. We sent an attack drone. Alright, so now we got an attack drone. We got some SEALs over there. They're assassins. We also have the Green Beret going. The Rangers going. Who else was it? Oh. And Delta Force, Chuck Norris was in some Delta Force. The elites are going over there, all except for the Marines. I don't know why the Marines ain't, but they're up next probably. But we have those 4 elites, our elites, going to Seoul, South Korea. A B-52 that has nuclear warheads and an attack drone. Now, if you think that we're going over there to just train and not do anything, you're not using your head. You're not using any critical thinking. A month ago, North Korea launched its missiles. 4 missiles. Like, within a block away from Japan. Japan, yesterday, flipped the fuck out. Sorry for cussing, I really am. But they flipped out, okay? They sent out their biggest boat. It doesn't have the airplanes because they've been under a sanction since World War II. 70 years of sanctions, but they held up to it. But they are going to send out their boat, and it's got some helicopters or something on it. But they sent that out. My main thing is, what I'm curious about is, why are we advertising our moves? When you play chess, when you do Monopoly, when you do any kind of card game, poker and all that, are you going to be like, hey man, I got a full house. What you got? No, you're going to keep it quiet until it's last time, whether you bluff or whatever. But here we got the news broadcasting who we're sending over there, what we're sending over there. You don't think that's going to piss North Korea off? Well, here's a little tidbit for you. Japan's a little island, okay? They've already experienced hell. Really, they have. World War II, we unleashed it. Now, let's think here. Critical thinking. North Korea is bordered by who? China. China wanted the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a little trade. China feels that, hey, they are the big badass. They feel that they are it of this 21st century. They feel like they're smarter, they can run faster, everything. They're in Olympics, everything. They feel that they are the best, just like us Americans used to feel. I really don't think we feel that way now. I mean, look at all the discord that we have in our own country. But China feels like they're ready to make a big move. Now, what did Trump say? Trump has always said that, hey, he's going to, if you're going to use our muscle, you're going to pay for it. Now, if you don't pay for it, we're going to cut the muscle. We pay the United Nations about $10 million to keep the peace. Well, guess what? The world is getting pretty messed up right now. The UN is not doing their job. Trump's going to cut his funding. And he even said that he's cutting the funding of the United Nations. Now, the United Nations. Oh boy, that's a good history lesson for you right there, isn't it? Alright, United Nations is wanting to join up with China. Flat out. The United Nations is the New World Order. Alright, here you go. Here's some history for you, okay? You can even check this out. By the way, I got this notebook. I don't have a desk or anything like that, so I do apologize. I mean, I don't have the funding for a studio and cameras and everything, so I'm just stuck to my phone. And the reason why I'm doing this, like I said, I'm doing it for me. I'm a social guy, and really, I just want people to wake up, man. Because if you're out shopping and you're out worried about, what to get, I want this, I want that clothes, I want them Jordans, look at my car, dude, are you not realizing that you are not even in reality? You're not. All this. Everything. It's about ready to be hell. It's biblical right now. 4 things were needed. And it's already happened. Now we're just living on revelation. I'll get to that in another one. But I'm telling you what, you got to stop worrying about your Jordans. You got to stop worrying about your clothes. You need to worry about your kids. You need to worry about your dogs. You need to worry about your pets. You need to stock up on some food. some water. Use your money wisely instead of spending on material. I'm telling you what, be frugal with the material, for real. I mean, you can put it in banks, but I'm telling you what, I wouldn't even do that. You put the money in a bank and the stock crumbles. At any time, really, anytime. I'm not real good at the stock, but I can tell, just like history, just like the Great Depression, we've been in a great recession, but we're going to put the Great Depression to shame. I mean, we have never been up this high before, ever. It's got to come down sometime. Who runs the Federal Reserve? Who runs the banks? The same people that run the United Nations. Tell you what. How about let's just go into it. Let me get my info right here. I could go into CNN, how the people that run United Nations and our Federal Reserve run the Smithsonian and, well, CNN, the main big fake news people. They're all connected. I told you, everything. Spiritually, religiously, it's all connected. I mean, whether you want to believe it or not. I mean, there's a reason why everybody's fighting. There's a reason why Muslims hate Christians. It is gone beyond before Christ. I mean, there is a reason. Do you think that they were worried about other guys? I mean, yeah, they were worried about other guys, but do you think they were worried about anything else? No. They all had a main. It was all about religion. Christianity, not even Christianity. I'm going to say God. God Himself, Jesus Christ, has proven time and time again that is the one true religion. That is the one true self. Alright, so let's get into the United Nations. Oh, where we at? I know it's up in here somewhere. Oh, give me a minute. Okay, sorry about that little briefness. Alright, in order to tell you about the United Nations, I gotta tell you, I gotta tell you about CNN. I just do. They all together, so I gotta tell it to you. So let's start with the CNN. Fake news, alright? I don't know what the hell it stands for. Everybody's calling it Criminal News Network, Clinton News Network, Corrupt News Network. I don't know. CNN, what you see on there. Alright, well anyways, CNN. It is owned by Time Warner, okay? Which is owned by J.P. Morgan Chase. You know that guy, Chase Bank. Come on. Alright. Dodge and Cox Company are the direct holders of CNN. Jeffrey L. Bukes, who sits in the head office of Time Warner, well, he sits in the Time Warner towers, since 2001. They kind of resemble the Twin Towers that got busted down, and they had their hand in that too. It's called corruption. It's called deceit. So, I mean, come on. You got to weasel out through it. Alright, well anyways, they made that. They are a member of the Council of Foreign Relations, the CFR. Now that's the good part. The Council of Foreign Relations, which is headed and funded, mind you. What does the FBI always do? What's all these movies and all that stuff about? Like American Gangster. What that little cop do? He started with the little guy to work up to find out who had the money. You follow the paper trail. That's what you still got to do. Follow the paper trail. So who is the CFR funded by? Because the CFR is in association with Time Warner, which is in association with J.P. Morgan Chase, which is in association with CNN. Whoever funds you, you're going to be doing their bidding because they fund you. You don't want to bite the hand that feeds you. They feed you. They make your paychecks. So who funds them? Rockefeller, Rothschild families. I mean, that's that's something right there. So this network is part of the CFR, the Council of Foreign Relations. So you mean to tell me that if I control the network that everybody sees, and don't forget, what is television? Television is programming. When you program something in, that means you have control over it, right? I mean, that is what programming is. Well, anyways, you got Rockefeller, and you got, oh, who else? Well, here, I'm just going to read it. I mean, I'm sorry, I want to look at the camera, but, hey, I got to read too. So we got Rockefeller, J.P. Morgan, and Chase. They had a majority role in creation of the Federal Reserve System. You mean to tell me Chase Bank is part of the Federal Reserve? And Rockefeller had a hand in that? What? They made that in 1912. Alright. Now here's a little tidbit. I'm going to give you something to watch. History Channel had, I think, last year, when was it? It was about October, November. It said, what was the title of that show? It was something about the Founding Fathers. They had some guy that did something about railroads. They had Carnegie, who was doing the steel. And they had Rockefeller, who did the oil. And they had JP, who did the banking, but he also did General Electric. He funded Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison helped make Tesla. What? And then you also had Ford. Those were the guys that helped revolutionize America. But the thing is, at that time, when they were doing this, what was the one thing the History Channel showed you? They showed you that, hey, that was the start of the monopoly system. And they put laws against that, so companies couldn't have a monopoly. Carnegie left, and of course, Rockefeller had Standard Oil. But because he was under a scrutiny and got sanctioned by the government, he had to split his stuff up to Pennzoil, T-Mobile, and all that. Not T-Mobile, but T-Mobile. T-Mobile? Well, that's the one with the little horse on it. That oil company. Pennzoil and such. And that made him more money. The guy has the money. He owns everything. So they made the Federal Reserve in 1912. Alright. Now the Federal Reserve, the thing is with them is if you need money for a war, you got to take a loan out. Who you going to take a loan out? J.P. Morgan was genius about this. I'm going to grant it. The dude was genius. He offers to give America money. 1912 was around World War I. Now, JP owned General Electric. What was the name of it? It was going to be like General Edison, something with Edison, excuse me. But because Edison failed on beating out Tesla, I mean, these lights, these are done by Tesla, not Edison. Tesla was ingenious, wanted his energy, wanted his knowledge, wanted his wisdom. I'm not going to say knowledge, wanted his wisdom to go to free energy. We can have free energy. It was done back then. Tesla did it. But J.P. Morgan, he screwed it all up. He did his little Twinkie hand. Pulled the puppet strings. And because it was like a bidding war between Edison and Tesla, he got pissed off with Edison, bought all his patents and everything, and shoot him out the door. That's why you really don't hear anything much about Edison. Well, anyways, he owns GE. Anytime there is a global conflict, okay? Anytime there's a global conflict, something is created from this conflict. An illusion that whatever is created out of this conflict is the solution to that conflict. I hope I didn't lose you. Let me say it again. Anytime there is a global conflict, something is created out of this conflict. An illusion to whatever is created out of this conflict is the solution that will solve this conflict. Example, 9/11 happened, what happened? We had the NSA. Simple. But the NSA really hasn't helped us. We had the Freedom Act. Freedom Act really hasn't helped us. It really pretty much wrapped us up. We don't have freedoms like we used to because of this conflict of 9/11. 9/11 that they orchestrated. The government orchestrated. Alright. It's a scam. Flat out. It's a street hustle. I mean, it's like a dude out there trying to sell you something on the street. You're not gonna do it because you have a little bit of common sense, but why the hell did we agree with it? Because people don't open their minds, they don't think, they just nod their head and go with the fucking crowd. And that's sad. That's really sad. It caused a lot of demise. Alright. Well, World War I, Rockefeller and Rothschild created the League of Nations. Well, not created. That was pretty much Woodrow Wilson. That was Woodrow. Yeah. I could stand corrected. I just know it was created by one of our presidents. He had 14 things that he wanted to do to create this. But the League of Nations was funded by Rockefeller and Rothschild. What do we know? If you get funded by it, you don't want to bite their hand. If you get funded by it, you then become the puppet. Alright. They funded... This is what's going to baffle you. Some of you might not know this. When they created the League of Nations after World War I, they helped with World War I too, by the way. I mean, just is. We'll get into that too. Hell, we'll go all the way back to Napoleon. I mean, you want to go back to Napoleon? A lot of you probably don't know about Napoleon. Some of you are probably thinking like, oh, he's a French guy that did bad and a little short dude. Oh, there's more to Napoleon. He actually fought these guys. Yes, they were back there. Back then. But anyways, they helped fund the League of Nations. League of Nations fizzled out, of course, because we had World War II. I mean, but why did we have World War II? Because Rockefeller, Rothschild helped fund both sides. It's simple. If you got money and you're at a croquet table, are you going to put all your money on the red, or are you going to divide it up and put it on the red and black? The smart way would be putting it on the red and black. 50-50 shot, you're not going to lose. I mean, you'll lose what you had on the red, but you're going to make up for it with the black, so that equals the bet, plus you made a profit. You get me? They funded both of them. Nazis especially. And let me tell you about the Nazis. I talked to my friend about this, and have you ever heard of the Ashkenazi Jews? Let me spell it out for you. A-S-H-K-E-N-A-Z-I. Let's take out the Ash part. Let's take out the K-E part. And we have Nazi. We'll get into that too, because this connects all the way back to Solomon. This connects all the way back to the Knights of the Templar. Revelation 2 verse 9 is about these Ashkenazis. Well, I call them Ashkenazis, but Ashkenazi Jews. That is pretty much what Revelation 2 verse 9 is saying. Revelation called these people a Bible. that's been picked out is referring to this into the future. Is that not enough to know that the Bible is true? I mean, are you still going to be like, oh, well, I'm an atheist. Oh, well, eh, that's ignorant. Now is not the time to be ignorant. Now is the time to have your mind open and your eyes open and to be aware of your surrounding. I'm telling you, stuff is going to happen in a matter of days. Hell, yesterday we had an attack drone. Today we got SEALs going in. Alright. It's going to be happening. And I'm thinking it's going to be March 17th. I really do. I don't want to say bet on it, but I'm thinking March 17th we're going to hear a lot of noise. Alright, well, they help create, they funded both sides. They help fund the League of Nations. They help fund both sides, Axis and Allies. And then once that was done, what did they make? What did they fund? The United Nations. For real? No. Alright, fine. You don't want to believe me. Alright, we'll tell you what. Guess where the League of Nations was the capital of? Their headquarters was in Switzerland. Switzerland. Okay, so you mean to tell me that little country that was Germany over here, France over here, Germans come up, we're going to attack, but they left Switzerland alone. So we're neutral. Really, were they? Were they really neutral? Switzerland is what? What did Pablo Escobar use? What did drug dealers use? What did international people use? They use Switzerland Bank because it's like exempt. It is like it. But the thing is, what is synonymous about Switzerland? Have you ever paid attention to its flag? Alright, here's something for you. Go check out the Templars. Just Google it. Get an image of the Templars. What do they have on their crest? They got that little cross. Damn, that looks pretty close to Switzerland's flag that they're flying to this day. And that was, hell, when was that? That was in about the 11th century. That's a lot of years, man. Alright. Now, I got a lot more. So hold on. Alright. Now, so you got Rothschild and Rockefeller that created the United Nations. Did you know Rothschild created the Illuminati? And that was roughly about 1770. Okay? Oh man, I got a lot of stuff. In 1798, a book titled Proofs of Conspiracy Against All Religions and Governments of Europe Carried On in the Secret Meetings of Freemasons. That's, well, wait a minute. Let me do that again. I'm sorry, I apologize. I told you I don't have a teleprompter or anything like that. I have my own notes. I mean, I think I write semi-decent, but as you can see, it's I like to use all the paper. I don't like leaving any space, and I try to pay attention to details. Alright. Rothschild created Illuminati in 1770. Pretty much. But in 1798, a book that is titled Proofs of Conspiracy Against All Religions and Governments of Europe Carried On in the Secret Meetings of Freemasons, Illuminati, and Reading Societies. That's the whole book. That's the title of the book. It's long. It's 1798. I mean, they're not going to shorten it down for people. I mean, everybody liked to read back then. They didn't have radios and they didn't have TV, so you had to make it interesting by details. So you give detail on the cover. instead of a pitcher. Alright. What else we got? Well, in 1823, they take over financing for the Catholic Church worldwide. So Rockefeller has his paws, Rothschild has his paws in the Catholic Church. Now, I've raised quite a couple questions here in the past couple years because of what the Catholic Church has done. They have a telescope named Lucifer. Now, March, when was it? I know I had that wrote down because I thought that was weird. I thought it was very weird. I know it's here somewhere. March 12th, I do believe it was. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, this is my godly paper. That right there is my godly book. All right, March 12th, dictionary word of the day: Luciferus. Luciferous. Luciferus, which is bringing or providing light, providing insight or enlightenment. Lucifer. So Catholic Church gets you, they have a telescope that public can't see. So whatever they see, they're going to tell you, even though we can't verify it. I mean, we can't punch a ticket, pay them or anything to go check out what they're seeing. But they made a telescope called Lucifer. The Catholics also agreed to, no offense, all right, hey, my uncle, he was out there. I don't like to make fun. I mean, everybody's their own everybody. Everybody can do what they want to. I mean, do what you want to do. It's your life. I mean, me, I'm straight, but the religion itself is supposed to be straight. I mean, there's plenty of scripture saying that, hey, being homosexual is bad, but it is what it is. Catholics, the Pope himself even said, hey, that's cool. The Pope himself even said, what was it, abortion's okay, and that it's okay to get divorced now. The Pope shouldn't even be Pope. I hate to say it, man. He was the bodyguard of the Pope before him. And that by the law, it really should not have been him. It should have been a cardinal or something. There's some funny stuff going on. Probably because who funds you is telling you what to do. They have control over you. Alright, so now they have 1823. They are taking over financials for the Catholic Church worldwide. Now, I bet some of you didn't know this. You know Andrew Jackson? He's on one of them bills that you got, that little paper money that really don't mean really doesn't mean nothing. It really doesn't. It's monopoly money. I'm sorry. Once we throw a bomb down, or when another bomb comes down, you're going to find out that little paper don't mean nothing. It doesn't. Precious gold, precious metals, something to trade with somebody that isn't material, that's going to be the value, not that little paper. Alright, but I bet you didn't know this. Did you know Andrew Jackson fought off the Rothschilds? Did you know that? That was back in 1836. He fought them off so they wouldn't bank. There would not be a centralized bank in America. He fought them off. And did you know they tried to assassinate him? There was another president that did that. You know, it was during the Civil War, needed money. The Confederates, Jefferson, they started printing their own money. So, you know, we wouldn't rely on anybody else. Lincoln did the same thing. He did not want an outside source having control of us. He wanted his own, so we'd be debt free. What you have is exactly what it is. And what happened to him? Got assassinated. But did you know, back in Lincoln's day, he helped the Tsar of Russia, Alexander II. The Tsar of Russia was trying to do the same thing. The Tsar of Russia said, hey, I'm going to put whatever here on the East Coast and whatever here on the West Coast, and I'm going to keep you all out. Because, hey, he didn't want that crap either. And then, well, eventually, Lincoln gets assassinated. Yeah, that was, I mean, he wanted to make his own tender. That's the way it was. World War II, World War I was the result of the czars. I don't want to say treachery, but that was, he supported Lincoln. That's the reason why Rothschild Rockefeller supported World War I. They were pissed. They could pull the strings. They had money. They could buy stuff. That's the whole reason why we had World War I. They helped orchestrate that. They have altered our history. They have done so much to taint us. Alright. And you don't believe me on this? Then tell you what. I'm going to tell you something right now. I didn't just make this up with hocus pocus. Type in General 88. GENERAL space 88. That first link that you get, why not read it? That'll verify what I'm telling you. That's my research for that one. But hey, let's go back to the news. I'm just telling you, hey, that was the whole stipulation with the United Nations. United Nations wants to get with China because China they feel like they are the global power. They want to take over. 21st century, they feel they are ready, aimed up, ready to have at it. United Nations, owned by Rockefeller, Illuminati, NWO, they're pulling the puppet strings. They're done with America. I mean, they gassed us out, sent us over there to the Middle East. They gassed us. Our troops are beat up. We're scattered. We're trying to rally everything in. That is why Trump is trying to build up the military, because he knows this crap is going down. He knows it. He wants to extinguish it, get rid of it. That way he can build us up. He is trying to fortify his castle. I mean, that's what we are. We are mid ages. You got a castle, you're going to fortify that bad boy. Seal off the borders, build your troops up, and get ready. Anybody mess with your allies, you're going to send troops over there. But North Korea is a damn pawn of China. If you actually think that little dinker, you think North Korea is really anything, no. That is China's pawn. China, they sacrificed what, like 10 billion? Not 10 billion, about 10 million of their own people in a damn war, their own selves. They're worse than the kamikazes of Japan. They're going to sacrifice. They're something else, man. I'm telling you what, they don't care. They will sacrifice North Korea just to incite some shit, just to have the power of the globe. But it's not a globe. Like I said, we'll get to that. You subscribe to me. We'll get to that too. I got plenty of info for you to check this out. Alright, let's go back to the news now. Alright, Japan is considering that first strike. They're flipped out. They're flipped out. That's why they put that missile out there, and they actually been thinking about pressing a button to take care of North Korea, end it. Alright. Now there is a rumor going around that North Korea is just, I mean, by seeing these people come up there, and we advertised it, so that might make North Korea a little bit more edgy tonight, whatever time it is there. They've been actually really considering launching a damn nuke at Hawaii. And we already know what happens when you mess with Hawaii. We go to war, even though it's orchestrated. But still, I mean, I don't want to see people die. I really don't. I mean, it's sad. This is This is Satan, man. This is what he does. If you think this world here is heaven, it's not. This is the hell. Anyways, back to it. NATO still has troops over there in Russia. Okay, so Russia's now getting tag teamed by everybody. I mean, Russia, they have been fighting off the New World Order. They have been fighting off Rothschild and all this stuff. And nobody really sees that because the mainstream media doesn't tell you that because they don't want you to know that. We just recently found out that they've been fake telling us bullshit. Russia, yeah, they're bad. Okay, they're bad. They're Russia. They're not America. But I'm telling you what, they're fighting a good damn thing. They are trying to fend off the damn nastiness that we've sucked in. We sucked in the Federal Reserve. We sucked in the History Channel, who is owned by Rockefellers. You don't believe me on that one, do you? Alright, I'll tell you what. Let me get some more of my damn notes. Where'd that go? I got that too for you. Alright. Type in this. Rockefeller funds Smithsonian. Now if you notice, every time you watch History Channel, when it gets all the way down, after all the credits and all that, and you get the big old H that comes up, right underneath that, Smithsonian. Type in Rockefeller funds Smithsonian. Scroll down to the bottom link to where it says books.google.com. Click on that link and you're going to find out how they control the history. You control the history, you control the facts, and because of that, you can say that aliens did stuff versus the Nephilim. You do that, you get that perception, you take away the presence of God. That ties into the globe. Now don't get me wrong, it's not a globe, it's not a sphere. I'm not saying it's flat, but it's more flat than this little sphere. We'll go into that, okay? Oh man, this is great stuff. I'm telling you what, this is some action-packed news. Alright, so let's go back. Turkey's going to release their refugees. And I told you before, Turkey's in the damn Bible. That's where the 7 churches are that John wrote the Revelation and wanted to send to the 7 churches. Turkey had to have a revolt for the revelation to happen. One of those cities is the seat of Satan. And I'm telling you what, I'm going to double check, but I'm pretty sure that's where Rockefeller came from. Well, not Rockefeller, but Rothschild. Alright, so now they're releasing their refugees. Okay, that's upsetting the UN because Turkey wants their border. The EU, Europe, doesn't want that because the EU, Europe, is pretty much democratic the way Democrats were here, to where we don't want any borders. But guess what? Yeah, you got to have borders. I mean, if not, you're going to get bombarded by Muslims and all that, and they're going to outproduce. They're going to colonize. They're going to outproduce you to shoo you out. You ain't going to have no more bloodline, basically. All right, another one. Facebook has this facial recognition. Get the hell out of here. No, do not click on that app. Do not. One, it's already been proven that the CIA has funded Facebook. Yes, CIA, Vault 7, all that crap. Zuckerberg, CIA. You put your face on this, okay? You get this facial recognition. You are done. I mean, one, how we do Facebook right now, we are in herds. You can classify somebody, you can put them in little categories. You can put them either into a violent category or a sheep category. Now you do the facial, there ain't no fooling them. I mean, might be able to, oh, that's not me, that's not me. I mean, that's my twin. Nah, you get the facial, you're done. That's something that Facebook is now coming out with, the facial app. Don't do that, please. God, don't do that. All right, Democrats want to shut down against Trump's border wall. Like I said, Democrats, they're liberals, and they are trying to. They want to go with the NWO. They want to stay in the power to go with the NWO. That way, it doesn't ship to China. That's okay, cool. We don't want to ship to China. That's agreed. But we don't want to be in a control power of United Nations, Rockefeller, Rothschild. We don't want to be under their control. We don't. But Democrats want that. That's why they get lobbyists and accept their money and all that stuff. Republicans do it too, I know. But still, Trump was our best bet versus Hillary. Hillary was going to fold, so was Obama. Trump's not. He's making a stand, trying to make us great again by fortifying our castle. America is our damn castle. You're going to fortify it. Your home. You're going to put a fence around it. I built fences, man. Come on. You're going to fortify that. Any kind of business, you're going to fortify that so no crooks come in or nothing. Fortify it. But the Democrats want to shut down so the bill won't pass. Who the hell elects these guys? Come on, man. Alright. And I got two more things, alright? New Mexico has seen a stealth bomber fly over it with chemtrails. If you're unfamiliar with chemtrails are basically coal ash and metal deposits in an aerosol form. Yes. A bomber, a stealth bomber, not a jetliner, a stealth bomber. Government stealth bomber spraying chemtrails. Government has even said, I'm not going to say justified this, but they have said this, that they have, oh yeah, we've done it.